The Classic Four is down to 2. We've reached the final of the Basketball Classic title presented by Eracism. Tonight, Coastal Carolina looks to give coaching legend Cliff Ellis his first postseason title, while Fresno State hopes to ride Orlando Robinson, the best player in the country you've probably never heard of, to a championship. Welcome inside the HTC Center alongside Nate Ross. I'm Noah Frary. Nate, Fresno State, Coastal Carolina, they feature dominant scoring inside. Who has the advantage today?
I'm afraid to say for the people from the Chanticleer land that Fresno State's got a Robinson inside who's a special basketball player. Somebody's going to pay him a lot of money in the future to play this great game.
For Coastal Carolina, Rudy Williams coming off of that big three-pointer to give Coastal Carolina this opportunity tonight. He's been phenomenal this season.
Rudy Williams has been really good for this basketball team, a transfer from Kansas State, of course. And in reading the notes, Rudy Williams was recruited by Fresno State. So maybe a little something for the other guys. We will see. It's going to be a good one.
The championship game of the Basketball Classic, we mentioned Cliff Ellis. He's been coaching 48 years, yet to win a postseason tournament. He has a chance to do that tonight. He joked with us pregame. This is the first time he's coaching a game in April, Nate.
There's only so many teams that win your last game. There's 4 teams down in New Orleans that hope to win the last one. Coach Ellis along with Coach Hudson hope to do that right here, right now. Assam
Mustafa and Orlando Robinson set to tip. Coastal Carolina controls the opening tip, and we are underway. The final of the Basketball Classic here from the HTC Center in lovely Conway, South Carolina. Our officials today, Larry Scirotto, Jerry Heater, and Courtney Green. Mustafa goes to work on the baseline. Bounce pass, kick out. Williams can't connect on the game's first shot.
Man to man for the Bulldogs, and that's what they do. They don't let you score. Right around 60 games, all they give up.
Orlando Robinson, according to some rankings, could be as high as the 7th best player in the country.
He's a really good player. We're going to see him right there. They're going to double him, you would think that.
Here's Campbell. He'll knock down the game's first 3.
A willing and very good passer as well. Orlando Robinson right there with the assist, Campbell with the 3.
Coastal Carolina, the top scoring offense in the Sun Belt this season. Nearly 73 points per game. A turnover there, Fresno State gets the basketball.
Vince Cole didn't catch it. That's not Vince Cole's fault. That was a bad pass by Diva. Too far and just not a good angle.
These two teams have never met. First time in program history that Fresno State matches up against Coastal Carolina. Robinson driving, working on Mustafa. Now Fresno State works it back out. Robinson face up. Corner 3 from Campbell off the side of the backboard. Rebound goes to Williams. He'll push and draw the foul in transition.
Well, you saw at the other end, every time Orlando Robinson touches the ball, there's going to be 2 white jerseys around him. Doesn't mean he can't score, but they're going to bother him. First time he kicked it out for a wide open 3 from Jordan Campbell. And this is what the Chanticleers have to do, is get some in transition. Rudy Williams really good at finishing through contact. That time he got fouled, so he'll go to the line for a couple.
Williams, the Kansas State transfer, 27 appearances last year at K-State. Having a standout campaign here, though, for the Chanticleers. He gets up their first point of the game. 3-1 the score in the early going. Williams 74% from the line on the season. He'll go 1 of 2.
The HTC Center has very loose rims, sometimes forgiving, sometimes not. It's like that one.
Pull-up jumper for Hill, cashes in.
Isaiah Hill kind of runs the show for them at the point, but obviously a scorer at 10 a game as well. A couple injuries for this team from Fresno State that aren't even playing. Anthony Holland has missed the last couple games, and then Deion Stroud not here as well. Didn't even make the trip.
How big of a loss are those 2 guys for this Fresno State
Well,
squad?
they're going to have to play others, and they don't go very deep on the bench, but other guys are going to have to play because those 2 are contributors.
Here's Mustafa's turnaround. No, rebound goes to Robinson.
If Robinson can force Mustafa to fadeaways, then Robinson's going to win. That's a tough shot.
Offensive rebound, and the putback for Colomario goes.
Guys like Colomero are starting because Anthony Holland and Stroud aren't here. Colomero, a really good player, just normally comes off the bench.
3 players have scored for Fresno State. Robinson yet to score. They go inside, step back, Deba. There's a 3-pointer by Lakai, short.
As you can see so far, Fresno State does not let you get to the rim. They just stay between you and the bucket.
Robinson, that's what makes him a special player right there.
Well, he's 7 foot tall. He can make a 3. We haven't seen his post-up move yet, but trust me, we will.
Robinson declared for the NBA draft last year, didn't hire an agent, maintained his eligibility, came back to school. His stock has only gone up this season.
I don't know if it's the defense of Fresno State or the shots just aren't into it, but so far not getting much out of their offense.
Debo rolls one off the iron.
Yeah, he brings it up the floor too, folks.
Campbell stays aggressive, finds Whitaker.
That's enough. Coach Ellis has seen enough.
12-point lead for Fresno State. Some hot shooting, 6 of 8 from the floor to get this one underway. 13-1 the score here in Myrtle Beach. Fresno State in the lead. Justin Hudson in his 4th season at the helm of this Fresno State team. This team known for defense. It comes from their head coach, one of the better defensive teams in the country this year, Nate.
Yeah, that's their character. That's his character. You play to the personality of your coach. 10 years as an assistant at San Diego State. Obviously in his 4th year now. Was at UNLV, was at Cal Poly, was at CSU Bakersfield for 2 years. So he's a Cali guy. And it's all about defense for him. The offense will come, but if you can hold a team to 13-1 for the first break, I'd say the defense is working pretty good. Now they're going full court.
We've seen a lot of that March and April that the defense has played really well in the NCAA tournament, NIT, Basketball Classic.
That's what you got to do. Go backdoor. They're so aggressive defensively. That's how he won the last one with a 3.
Williams knocks down his first 3. The first shot from the field for Coastal Carolina.
Shot declares look a little hesitant because Fresno State's getting out in the passing lanes. He's got to go back to her like Deba did and get a wide open pass and penetrate the defense. They're good. They're not godlike. They're just good.
Offensive foul goes against Fresno State, and Coastal gets the basketball back. See it again here.
Can't be hesitant. That's the end of the play. Rudy Williams just drills a deep 3. Not his go-to shot, but if he made the last one of the last game, obviously he feels like he can make them all the time now.
Makes them when they count. 9-point lead for Fresno State. Coastal Carolina just 1 of 6 from the field to start. They get it to Williams on the low block. Udijay. His jumper, no. Rebound goes to Colomero. Hill finishes in transition. He's got an early 4, coming off an 8-point performance in the semifinal against Southern Utah.
Unlike the shots, Fresno State just taking it right to the rim. Hill did it last time.
Campbell, that's a mismatch they like.
Chanticleers love to switch, and they switch most screens. They did it right there. They're going to do it again here.
Nate, you've told me that this Coastal team, you'll see them run a lot of different defenses tonight.
Well, they switch it up because Coach Ellis, that's what he does, but they got to score a little bit. 15-4, I don't care what defense you're playing.
What's the adjustment offensively right now in your mind for Coastal?
Got to be aggressive. You just got to be aggressive. Take the ball, not necessarily on a dribble, but like I said before, back cut because they're getting out in the passing lanes. And Coach Ellis told us before the game, he knows he's got a 7-footer in there, the other team, and they can play 2 of them. Drive and kick back for a 15-footer. This team doesn't block a lot of shots, but their presence changes the way you play offense.
Vince Cole working inside, pull-up jumper, tough shot over Colomero.
Vince Cole can create one whenever he wants one. unless his 7-footer's guarding him. But they don't switch like Robinson out on that, so he's going to have that shot whenever he wants it.
The senior out of Charleston, South Carolina, your hometown right now.
Yep, went to USC Salkehatchie, then to St. John's, and then down here to Conway.
I set you up. I wanted you to say that name, and I didn't have to.
USC Salkehatchie.
9-point lead for Fresno State. A hot shooting start, 3 of 4 from downtown, 6 of 9 from the floor. Donovan Yap in for his first action. They turn to Robinson.
You don't have to double him there, but you got to be aware that he can make that jump shot.
Kick out. Yap thought 3, now drives. Tough runner, no. Offensive rebound. Robinson and Mustafa gets the block.
Mustafa got off the deck, too, because he was sitting on his butt to do that. You got him in a scramble situation. You couldn't pay it off. You just got to play offense now. Move the ball, move bodies.
Inside, Mustafa gets the touch. Can't hit the right over the big man. Offensive rebound, put back for Lakai, and he's got his first basket.
Well, Lakai had 17 rebounds in a game this year. He's 6'9" with really long arms. He can be very effective inside.
Both teams with a couple of offensive rebounds apiece.
That was a really good job. Lakai realized that Udije was on Robinson, so he called for the switch. I got him.
Great ball movement for Fresno State. Yap corner, 3 short.
Vince Cole's a very streaky scorer.
Well, he's got 2 more.
Back to back.
Fresno State on offense on a 0-for-4 run. Coastal Carolina on a 6-0 run over the last minute and a half, and we'll get a timeout here. We're going to stay right here. Coastal Carolina asked you what the adjustment was. Well, they've made an adjustment.
Well, that's what they had to do. They get misses and go. Fresno State doesn't want to run. But if they can get a miss and take it like this, here's Vince Cole down the floor, and he just penetrates. Nobody gets in his way. Robinson got screened out by Mustafa there, and he got a layup. Attack the paint if Robinson's not near you, like there, shoot it. If he is, kick it out. But it's all about getting misses and going or getting deflections and going to make the Chanticleers much more effective offensively right now.
On this 6-0 run for Coastal Carolina, Vince Cole has 4 points. You love to see that from the senior stepping up when his team really needed some offense.
And he's been the leader of this team until Rudy Williams the last couple games got a little crazy. But Vince Cole hit the 3 in that last game to tie it, put it in overtime. Rudy Williams, who's now getting a blow on the bench, and Garrett Green's in there, hit the 3 to win it. This is what I thought. I told you before the game, Garrett Green's going to guard Robinson. Much smaller, but one tough nut on the defensive end. They're actually in a zone here.
Braxton Mia into the game. That's a lot of height in the lane for Fresno State.
2 7-footers, Shant's in the zone. Sometimes they go man after a certain number of passes, but they're staying in the zone.
Good ball movement again. Hill, they find the open Campbell in the corner.
There's the triple team.
Good movement.
Coach Ellis wanted a shot clock violation.
It was close.
I don't argue with him. I think it was.
Vince Cole, heat check, in and out. 15-10 the score. Media stoppage here in the HTC Center. We'll take it with them. 15-10 as we step away. 15-10 the score after 8 minutes of play in the final of the Basketball Classic here from Conway, South Carolina. We take a look at Garrett Green. He's in the game, and he's forced to guard Orlando Robinson.
Well, he's going to have to. Deshaun Thomas, Coach Ellis told us before the game, got injured a couple games ago. He's 6'10". He's not available. And Lakai's getting a blow right now. So Garrett Green is one tough nut. He's only 6'6", but he's been playing bigs all season for this team. He's doing it again right now. They're in a zone actually now, but he's guarding the other post. Nice shot. Oh.
They've certainly made it difficult for Robinson on the low block.
Yeah, Mustafa took a finger or something in the eye. They're changing it up. They're doubling Robinson. Sometimes that time Mustafa had him by himself. So not make him comfortable.
Green drives baseline, dumps it off to Deba. He's got his first basket.
Garrett Green's the ultimate glue guy. You need a 3, he'll make it. You somebody draw a charge, he'll do it. Nice assist right there.
Those are players that coaches just love to have on their squad.
Absolutely. And Deba's offense is coming back later in this season as well. Nice high-low right there.
Inside to Mia. Count the basket. He's headed to the free throw line.
That's what they're good. Because Robinson's such a good passer, and he can shoot it from the free throw line or beyond, he gets it. Mia ducks in. Watch this. Goes to Robinson, inside to Mia. And Garrett Green's a tough defender, but Mia's just 7'1". Garrett Green's 6'6", nothing to do.
Coastal just doesn't have many players that can match up with these guys.
No, not inside.
Braxton Mia, reserve center primarily this season. He had offers from Clemson, Virginia Tech, and a lot of Pac-12 schools. Chose Fresno State, and I like the decision.
Oh, no, he's really good there, and he's going to be even better next year and in the future. Robinson can play one more year. Nobody knows if he will.
Green left open from downtown. Back iron comes off to Mia.
Shots are really small now because Mustafa's not out there either. Offensively, not a big deal. Defensively, a big deal.
Fresno State led by as many as 12 in the early going. The lead now 5. Robinson working on the shorter Green. He'll find Yap. Inside to Robinson. Can't connect, but he'll head to the line.
Whoever taught Orlando Robinson how to play this game in the post is really good. Whether it's Coach Hudson or somebody before that, but he gets 2 feet in the paint. And when you get a guy that's 7 feet tall with 2 feet in the paint ducking in right there, it's impossible to stop him. You can foul him, as they did, but you can't stop him.
Foul goes on Williams. It'll be his first.
How do you stop that? Take that spot away from him.
First
Much
free throw.
easier sitting over here than it is out there.
First free throw missed for Robinson. Y'all admit I don't question a lot of that. I had no basketball skills.
Well, he's got more than you, me, and about 7 other people put together, speaking of Orlando Robinson. I like it, too, when he gets in the paint. He's got a little David Robinson in him because he banks everything when he doesn't have a good angle.
Williams gets around Yap, swatted by Mia.
Rudy took a hard fall. Rudy Williamson did, too.
Looked like he went right into that stanchion behind the basket. Campbell from the corner. No, and a chance now for Coastal Carolina to get out and run. U2J into the body of Whitaker.
A really good play by the freshman because Robinson and Mia, he beat them both down the floor. So you're playing against guys your size.
U2J will head to the free throw line.
No
See that
Robinson,
drive again.
No Mia. And there's the charge attempt by Destin Whitaker, but an and one opportunity for the freshman from London, England.
Just a 64% free throw shooter this season. He'll hit the first.
So Coach Ellis going with the smaller lineup, but they're biting into this lead a little bit. 1 possession game.
Coastal trailed by as many as 12, now within 3. Just under 10 remaining in the first half.
Fresno State's really good at finding the open man, especially when they're doubled, because Robinson's such a good passer, just like that.
Whitaker will cash in.
It's a zone, you got to know who the shooters are, and Whitaker's a high wing shooter. Rudy Williams didn't get there.
Whitaker 2 of 2 from downtown. Fresno State 4 of 7 from distance. A chance to answer, it's Green, airballs the 3.
That's very unlike Garrett Green, not to hit anything. You can see on the miss, Fresno State doesn't want to fly down the floor. They want to get the ball to their best player, which is right there.
They use them on over 30% of their offensive possessions, and why wouldn't you when you have that much size?
You don't have to be a genius to figure that one out. 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, a 49% field goal shooter, I should say maker.
I got to admit, if you're Justin Hudson, the head coach for Fresno State, he probably makes your job pretty easy.
He's a special player, there's no question about it. You're right in the open, you said probably the best player in America nobody heard of because he does play in California and most people don't stay up late enough to watch the games in the Mountain West.
If you give any credibility to Ken Palm, I know I'm a big fan of the advanced analytics. They've got him as the 7th best player, and that's with the likes of Oscar Shibwe at Kentucky, Paulo Banchero, some A-list names.
Good passes there. Yeah, I don't follow that a lot, but obviously I don't disagree with it.
23-15 the score, the lead back to 8.
Calling Mario a little one after the ball got bounced around inside. Chanticleers can't be passive. They got to keep the aggressiveness, even when the opponent scores.
Mustafa works on Mia. Quick move, unable to finish the layup.
Mia made him rush it because he's probably afraid Mia was going to block it.
If you're Mustafa and you've got the bigger Mia on you, what do you have to do in order to find an opening?
Dribble out of the post and look for a cutter. He's a really good passer, and the rest of his team knows if he dribbles out of the post to cut. He's done it numerous times this year. He's a really good passer. He's not going to shoot it over Mia or Robinson. It's just not going to happen. He's 6'9", they're 6'11", 7'1".
I thought it was interesting pregame. Cliff Ellis said they needed him to dribble out, try to make that Robinson move. As we see a three-pointer by Whitaker, he's 3 from downtown.
One possession game to an 11-point game in a heartbeat because of the three ball.
Mustafa from downtown. He'll miss.
That's not what you want from your biggest player. Coach Ellis is going to take him out. I love it. Don't say a word to him. Just take him out.
Just
that's not the shot. That's
three-point field goal attempt all season.
That's giving out. That's giving up. You couldn't get it inside, so you just bomb it. I don't care if he guards you or not. That's not what you're out there to do.
Whitaker, 4 of 4 from downtown. He's got 12.
It's like pregame practice. Nobody closes out to stop you. Chanticleers had a little spurt, and then the spurt's gone. They got to get another one.
Whitaker came in 7 for 11 from the three-point distance in his last 2. He's got 4 today, and there's Mustafa who gets the basket.
Why'd he score? 2 feet in the paint. No dribble, power it up. Jump hook's a great shot, but you got to be in position to take it. Back to the zone for the shots.
Off the hands of Mia and a chance for Coastal to run.
No big guy back.
Williams for 3, yes! Big basket for Coastal Carolina. They're back within 9. 29-20 the score. Coastal Carolina trying to claw their way back into it. A big turnover here. They got it to Williams in transition, and he knocked it down. Fresno State in the lead. Cliff Ellis in the huddle trying to figure this out, and he's been doing it a long time. 48th season overall, 15th season here at Coastal Carolina. Nate, what I find so interesting, he's never won the final game of the year.
There's not too many people that have. Now there's a bunch of new tournaments, but there's 4 teams down in New Orleans that there's only one of those that are going to do it out of over 300. But he's the master tactician. He realizes exactly what we just saw. They had a little spurt, and then they got punched in the mouth by Fresno State, and it came back a little bit. Long way to go in this first half to get back in this thing.
We joked pregame, 895 career wins for Cliff Ellis. I said, man, he's seen it all.
Oh, no question about it. Man to man.
Isaiah Hill finds Yap. Fresno State hot from downtown to start, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. Here's Yap, another 3. He'll knock it in.
Isaac Hippolyte saw him and got there late. You got to know who the shooters are if you're out there. Close out under control, but at least make it tough for them.
Udajay drives baseline, finds a slashing Williams, in and out. Coastal could have used that basket.
Well, everybody else thought Rudy Williams was going to make it, and they ran the other way. You got to expect a miss. Lakai and company got to get in there and get a board.
6 minutes to go in the first half of the Basketball Classic Final. Nate Ross alongside Noah Frary. Here's Whitaker. He can't miss.
Wow. Heck of a performance right there. That was a decent closeout by Udajay, too.
12 points for Whitaker. The lead up to 15, the largest it's been. Step back 3, Cole. Off to the left. Off the hands of Yap, and Coastal will keep the basketball.
Robinson's a very willing passer. Talking about the big good he is. He's only got 4 points, a couple assists, but he's not forcing it. If he's doubled, he's going to kick it out. And obviously he's got capable makers on the perimeter.
Coastal Carolina had worked their way back into this game. They were down by 3, and now Fresno State has gone to another level offensively.
They're 8 of 11 from 3.
Cole fouled.
Coach Ellis is the master at the blobs, the baseline out of bounds. He gets really good looks. And he goes to Vince Cole more often than not because he's a really good scorer.
First foul on Robinson, 4 on Fresno State.
Off a couple screens up top and then take it into the chest of the shot blocker. It's exactly what he did. And Robinson got him.
Cole has 5 now. 80% free throw shooter on the season. Tied with Deba for the best percentage on this squad this year. He's a player you don't want at the line if you're Fresno State.
These guys in the red shirts are 8 of 11 from 3. On the season, they shoot 33% from 3. 8 of 11 is a little better than 33%.
They made 11 in that semifinal victory over Southern Utah. It was just the 4th time that they had gone over 11 on the season.
That's making it tough on him. That's a really good defensive stand right there by Mustafa. I told you the best teacher was to sit his butt down.
Here's Hill.
Wow.
The hot shooting from downtown continues. 9 made 3-pointers.
That time Robinson was a screen and the shooter just ran around his butt for a screen and a wide open 3. Look out.
They go inside to Mustafa.
Now's when you cut. That's too far away for him to do anything.
Lakai kick out Cole. Cole heaves with 2 on the shot clock. Short, and it pinballs around into the hands of Robinson. Robinson 8 rebounds already. Showtime. Misses off the front iron.
That's what makes him so good. He can make the 3. When he fakes it and goes by you got to foul him or give him a layup. Watch this. He's a trailer, Robinson is. Fake the 3. Mustafa loses his balance. Goes right by him, and he just has to grab him. Nobody else with the guts to get in there and try to draw a charge.
First foul on Mustafa puts Robinson at the line. 4 points today for Robinson to go along with those 8 rebounds.
And on top of everything else, he's a plus 70%er from the line. 72 coming in.
There's not a lot this guy cannot do.
No, he's really good. Probably put on a little more weight as he gets older, but he's a very good basketball player.
Out of bounds, it'll be Fresno State basketball. Williams throws his hands up and says, I thought I was fouled.
Yeah, I don't disagree with him. He kind of got knocked out of bounds, but he did touch it last.
Hill to inbound as Mia checks back in for Robinson. A well-deserved breather for the 7-footer out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mia's the inside scorer. Mia's not the 3-point shooter, so you can slough off him on the outside, but you got to deal with him inside because he's very capable in the block. Mustafa's going to sleep good tonight.
I don't know. Everyone on Fresno State seems to be able to shoot the 3 ball.
So far they have.
Hill pull up from 18. Cashes in. 9 for Hill.
Isaiah Hill, a transfer out of Tulsa. Close to double digits.
Fresno State shooting 63% from the floor.
Can't stand around against this team. They're too good defensively. You got to move. With the ball or without the ball, you got to move.
Deba hasn't really gotten involved in the action much tonight. Williams gives it up. And that'll take us to our next stoppage. Fresno State pulling away. They lead by 19 with just under 4 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Fresno State playing well offensively. Point lead for Fresno State. Destin Whitaker, 12 points today, just 2 off of his career high. He's gone 4 of 4 from downtown, and Fresno State, 9 of 12 from distance.
Yeah, they've been shooting it unbelievably in this game, and I don't think it's bad defense. They're just hot, and it takes a little out of you. There's a nice steal. It takes a little out of you when the other team makes everything.
Williams drives right at Whitaker. Gets the layup to go. Nate, I sent you a stat earlier this week. Fresno State 40-7 when they shoot over 45% from the field. They're shooting 63%. If you're Coastal, how do you slow them down?
Well, you got to do that. Get in the passing lanes, dare them to go by you, and get some steals at the other end. It's got to be score, stop, score. This has to be the mentality. Or they just got it. They got the score and they got the stop. Now Coastal needs another score. And the great equalizer. Justin Hudson says, all right, Mr. Robinson, get back in there. It's nice to have that.
Robinson flanking Mia, 2 7-footers on the floor for head coach Justin Hudson. In his 4th season, he's the 19th head coach at Fresno State.
The other thing you have to do, I think, is be aggressive offensively. I don't mean driving to the rim, just in all your cuts and everything. Just put them on the defense if possible. Yeah, you move the feet. That's a good call.
Williams called for the travel. Just the 4th turnover for Coastal Carolina, both teams combining for just 7.
Got to be aggressive, obviously, at this end if you're the Chanticleers to get back in. And you got to be aggressive at the offensive end, too, in just your cuts and your mentality. That a couple of possessions ago, they threw the ball back to Deba at half court. That's not getting you anything. All that is doing is eating clock off.
Nate, you got 2:25 to go. What do you need to do in these next 2:25? How close do you need to make it to feel good about yourself?
Just score more than they do. Just outscore them for the last 2:24. Walk in the locker room with a little more momentum than you have right now.
The keep it simple, stupid method, right?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely, always works. Now, you got to get around that screen. You can't leave him that wide open. The man's unbelievable today, and he just gave him 5 for 5 from deep.
A new career high for Destin Whitaker, 15 points, all 15 from downtown.
When I was coaching, the phrase I hated after a game was when the other coach said, boy, that's the best we've played all year. I used to hate that. Well, that might be the phrase if this keeps up. The Coach Hudson's going to tell Coach Ellis.
Big basket for Mustafa, but you can't continue to trade 2 points for 3 points.
No, it doesn't work that way. You need to pitch a shutout for a couple possessions. There's only a couple possessions left in this first half. But look where he gets it. 2 feet in the paint, jump hook. He did fade away a little bit, but it still made it.
Whitaker has never made 5 3-point field goals in a game in his career. He's done it in the first half.
Unbelievable. 2,800-mile plane trip delayed today because of travel issues. Didn't bother these guys a bit.
Fresno State, their season high 12 3-point field goals. They have 10 in the first half.
Can't be passive at this end. You got to take their aggressiveness away a little bit, and their aggressiveness being making buckets. Like that. That's a good defensive play.
Mustafa got his hand on it, unable to keep it in play.
The other way you make the pass tough into Robinson or Mia is pressure the passer a little bit. When you pressure the passer, he doesn't see it as well, and it takes seconds away from that clock.
Is Coastal Carolina just applying so much pressure to the bigs that it's leaving the perimeter open?
Sometimes, but not a lot. I mean, they're doubling. They stopped doubling a lot.
Here goes Williams. Tough basket.
He
wanted the foul.
Yes, he did. He's got to keep his cool, though. The last thing the Chanticleers need right now is a technical foul.
11 points for Rudy Williams. No one on Coastal Carolina has more than 6 other than Williams.
That's the way you got to play defense. Get in the passing lane, dare them to go backdoor, and hope that the weak side guys on your team are paying attention. Trust me,
back in.
You don't want to yell at Jerry Heater if you're Mr. Williams, because he'll tee you up. Jerry Heater's done a lot of big-time games. He's not going to take that from any player.
Fresno State, some kind of hot in this first half. They're 9 of their last 11 from the field.
They shouldn't be that wide open because they're switching all the screens. That's a
Polomero
good dig.
Loses the basketball. Haven't seen a signal yet. It's Coastal basketball.
That's a great dig. Double anybody. Just put the pressure on the offense. Most of their threes have been like practice. There's nobody near them. A couple closeouts, but most of them haven't been. And when you make them like that, you have amazing confidence. And it's showing right now as they are. It's laughable. 10 of 13 from 3.
77% for Fresno State from downtown. Deba tried to find Mustafa. Gets the pass taken away.
If you get that deep, shoot the ball.
A chance for Fresno State to go 2 for 1. They go to Robinson. Count the basket. Overpowered Mustafa.
Well, Mustafa slapped one away last time, and then when Robinson was so far out of the lane, he went for the steal. When he's that far out of the lane, let him catch it. Look where he gets it. He's 6 feet out of the lane. Let him get it there and then play defense. You commit yourself. He goes by you, and then you foul him.
2 on Mustafa. Robinson with a very quiet 8 points, also has 8 rebounds, adding a couple assists. He's having a good evening.
He's got a double-double working, and we're only at a little less than half a minute from the break.
High screen for Mustafa, pull-up jumper by Diva short.
Robinson changed his shot by going out at him.
Diva, a player that tore his ACL a couple years back and really just starting to regain that confidence.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive on that. Like, you just got to be aggressive.
3 seconds on the game clock. Corner 3 from Campbell at the buzzer off the backboard. And no good. A rare miss from downtown for Fresno State in the first half. Nate, some closing thoughts.
They are human. They missed the 3. When the Chanticleers were aggressive, the offense from Fresno State wasn't as effective. That didn't happen much in the first half. It's got to happen in the second half. But as I just said before, the guys in the red shirts from Fresno, California are really confident walking in that locker room at halftime.
Fresno State will take an 18-point lead into the half here. And then camera. (47-29) the score at halftime here inside the HTC Center. We welcome you courtside now. Alongside Nate Ross, I'm Noah Frary. And Nate, a historic shooting first half for this Fresno State squad.
They lit it up from behind the three-point line, and we talked about it early in the first half. It was because there was no defender near them. They had uncontested shots early, and then when you make them like that, you believe you're never going to miss. I really think this next half has nothing to do with offense if you're the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. If you're Fresno State and you can keep that going, then nobody's going to beat you. I don't know if they can keep that going either, but it's all about the defense for the Chanticleers to try to get back in this thing. Win the first 4 minutes.
Now, obviously, you're down by 18. You need some offense if you're Coastal Carolina. Who do you turn to in the second half?
You got to get transition points. You got to knock the ball away. You got to get a rebound and go. That's how they made their run probably halfway through that first half. They got a rebound. They got in the lane. They beat both of the bigs for Fresno State down the floor and got layups or 4-footers. They got to get that. The goal should be win the first 4 minutes and make Fresno State call the first timeout.
Fresno State, we told you, 40-7 when they shoot over 45%. They're shooting in the 60s right now. The defense for Coastal Carolina clearly has to get better here in the second half. 47-29 the score, about a minute and 50 seconds before we get the second half underway. They're dancing in here, trying to get this Coastal Carolina squad, maybe the fans, some life in this arena. Fresno State sucked it all out of here early.
Well, the interesting thing I think is going to be for Fresno State to start this half, you know that when they went in the locker room, Justin Hudson, among other things, said, guys, we got to come out like it's 0-0. But they look up at the scoreboard like everybody else. It's not 0-0. They're up by 18 points. So, is my math right? Yes, it is right. Usually it isn't. But if they come out, we're up 18 a little lackadaisical, that gives the Chanticleers a chance to chip away at this lead. If they come out like they did, then it's all about the Chants defense to try to get back in this thing. They're not going to win it in the first 4 minutes, but get back in the ballgame and, like you said, get the crowd going. It's a decent crowd. We got to get them a little excited.
Nate, we spotted Sunbelt Player of the Year Devontae Jones in the building, transferred to Michigan after last season. He was over talking to Mustafa. What was he telling him, you think?
Well, Devontae Jones got coached by a pretty good big man at the University of Michigan this year, so he probably gave him a little tips that he heard in practice this year. They're on spring break up in Michigan. We got to talk to Devontae. The fans love him here. He's talking with everybody. He got a chance to play in the NCAA. He graduated before he transferred up there. So, all good things for him, but I'm sure he's just encouraging his guys because he spent 4 years with these guys here and he went through all the battles with them.
You got to love that. Fresh off of an exit at the NCAA tournament, he wanted to come home to Conway, South Carolina to see his guys. You got to appreciate that. Coach DeJuan Howard certainly had a good one up in Michigan this year.
Oh, great. Wasn't the scorer that he was at Coastal Carolina. There he is right there. DJ, as he's affectionately known around here. He wasn't the scorer up there at Michigan. He was more of a distributor and a point guard, but he started. Unfortunately, he had a concussion in practice, did not play in the first game in the NCAAs, but drove down to play in the second game, and he played in the big dance. That's one of his goals in playing college basketball. Good for him.
Fresno State 10 of 14 from downtown in half number one. The most they've made all season was 12 at Nevada in January. Robinson just backed down, bullied Mustafa, got his own board, and put it back up. He's got 10.
And Mustafa bounced off of him on the first shot. And nobody knows where it's going more than anybody else. If you missed it, he got it, put it back.
Here's Williams, kick to the corner, Lakai. Can't connect.
Lakai can make him in bunches when he makes him. He's not a big-time scorer for this basketball team. It's 6 a game. But he's had games where he's hit a couple 3-4 threes. So that's not a bad shot.
If you're Coastal Carolina, you would have loved to have made the first one, though, coming back into the second
Absolutely.
half.
Especially since they scored first.
It's an out-of-the-world shooting performance in that first half for Fresno State. Over 60% from the field. Robinson from about 18 feet. In and out, the rebound goes to Williams.
You can force him to take those contested. That's a good thing, because he gets in the paint, he's too good. Mustafa didn't even think of shooting that one.
He took one early on, got benched for it, chose not to take it that time.
It's the last one he's going to take, too.
Williams steps in, can't connect. Last touch, they're going to say it was off Lakai.
Lakai in there to rebound, he just couldn't grab it. It's one thing about Mustafa, when he does rebound, he grabs it with 2 hands. Lakai just couldn't secure that one.
Orlando Robinson has 10 points today, 9 rebounds, nearly has a double-double. Robinson goes right at Mustafa. Tip in, no for Colomero, but an offensive board again for Fresno State. Good drive there by Campbell in the finish.
Good finish for the lefty when he let him go left, but it wasn't uncontested. They're in their face, the Chanticleers are. That's a good thing.
Great drive by Cole and a better finish.
All right, good finish, but like you said in the first half, can't trade baskets.
Cole's had a lot of success when he drives into the lane. 6 of his 7 points have come in the paint.
When we did an early game this year, I looked up his bio at St. John's, and they described him as a bucket maker. Very apt description.
He definitely can get his own. Good drive again by Campbell, finishes with the left.
Little matador defense by Rudy Williams. You can't let him blow by you like that. Got to have a little more pride and stay between him and the bucket. You read the scouting report, you know he's a lefty.
I'd have to check, but I believe it was probably the most points that Coastal gave up in the first half, probably all season.
Well, I really believe it's their biggest deficit. It might be the most they've given up as well.
Just a tough showing and a big hole to dig out of, trailing by 22 here, just over 2.5 into the second half.
And you see the points, you say, boy, Fresno State must have had a lot of fast break points. No, they just made a lot of threes. They finally called a foul on somebody to beat up Rudy Williams.
Foul on Campbell, that'll be his first.
Fresno
Second
State,
on Fresno State.
Fresno State had 2 fast break points in the first half. I don't even remember which one it was. But that's not what they do. They play with a very solid and not hurried pace. And when they make threes, they're pretty darn good.
Coastal Carolina has had success when they've gotten it in the paint. They lead that category 18-14. The difference in this game has been the 3-point shooting for Fresno State. Cole spinning.
There's
Can't
Lakai.
Offensive board and a putback for Lakai. 4 for Lakai, the senior out of Portland, Oregon.
Chanticleers have 2 made threes. Fresno State has 10 made threes. That's a big deficit to overcome.
Hill, nifty move to create space. Robinson from the free throw line. Short. Lakai grabs the board.
They're keeping him out of the block, talking about Robinson. That's a good thing. He's going to make some jumpers, but they're keeping him out of the block.
Rhythm 3 for Lakai. long, and Coastal Carolina just 2 of 12 from distance. Stark contrast to Fresno State's gaudy numbers.
It wasn't a bad shot, but it was a bad shot in the shot clock. It was the first pass in a shot. You got to probe the D a little bit.
Hill left open. Mustafa had a hand up. Didn't make a difference.
And that's Hill at about 6 foot. Mustafa at 6'9" in his face, but he never saw the big guy.
Hill, the third Bulldog, into double figures with 12. Williams, the lone Chanticleer in double figures. He's fouled.
See, that's different. That's probing the shot, probing the defense, using a little shot clock, and then got Rudy Williams off balance.
Fresno State, they've been hot from downtown today.
Well, there's Isaiah Hill right there with 6'9" in his face. Didn't even see him. Nice shot.
Out of the replay, Williams connects. Trying to will Coastal Carolina back in.
Rudy Williams, Cole, they're going to realize, if they haven't realized already, win or lose. It's the last college basketball game I'm going to play. So what the heck, let me go all out.
We've seen crazier things happen. Coastal Carolina, though, a big deficit, trailing by 20. Look at Williams. That's too easy.
That's with his offhand, left hand. I love the fact that he banks the ball more times than not.
Williams will heave, connects. 17 for Williams.
Rudy Williams wants a faster pace to stop this team in the red and then get those kind of buckets. That's what you need. You got to play D.
Rudy Williams might need a Randolph Childress type performance in this game if Coastal wants to get back into it. Here's Robinson over Mustafa. He's heating up.
Folks, he is 7 feet tall and he's doing that. That's impressive. And he's a junior.
This is a school, Fresno State. They've had success creating NBA players. I can think of one, particularly Paul George.
One of the best ever.
Mustafa over. Robinson short.
He's got to bank that ball, just like his competitor is doing.
Next whistle will take us to a media. 21-point advantage for Fresno State. Here's Whitaker. He has not missed from downtown tonight.
Ran him off. 2 staggered screens under the bucket, and Rudy Williams got bumped a little bit on each one. And that was just enough room to get him free to put up that 3, and obviously he made it.
6 for 6 for Whitaker from downtown. He had never made more than 4 in his career. Mackay doubled. Under 10 on the shot clock as Deba drives. Nice finish.
Good move, right to the rim. When the big man is out playing Mustafa out of the block, there is no rim protector. Take it to the rack.
Fresno State shooting 75% from distance. The 12 makes from downtown, tying their season high. It's the most that they've had in a game since the January 10th of 2021 on the road against San Jose State. They had 14 in that game. Hill over Mustafa. This time, can't connect. Mustafa runs the floor, fouled from behind.
Don't push. You pushed him in the back. Don't be doing that stuff, Hassan Mustafa. You got an opportunity for some buckets here. He's a really good rim runner, and he did it right there. He's going to go to the line.
As we went off air, Assam Mustafa was fouled, got shoved from behind in the back. The officials did go to the replay monitor, Nate. What they have to say?
Yeah, Jerry Heater came over and said just a common 2-shot foul, which I agree with.
Mustafa will head to the free throw line. Just 4 points today. I asked you a question early on. We see it again here.
Yeah, Mustafa just beat him down the floor, and Isaiah Hill probably doesn't get beat down the floor too many times. And he went for the basketball. He just couldn't reach that far. So that's a good call. It's just 2 shots.
Nate, I asked you in the open today who had the advantage inside, and so far the answer has clearly been Fresno State.
Oh, they got 2 7-footers, and with Deshaun Thomas injured, that leaves the Chanticleers with this man at the free throw line anywhere near 7 feet, and nobody else close to that. Well, Will Akai 6'9", but not with the girth of those guys. And Fresno State advantage of playing them both at once. They don't do it a lot, but when they do it, it's a big-time advantage.
Mustafa has been shut down for the most part today, though gets his own offensive board off the free throw miss. Just 5 points for him. He averages over 13 a contest on the season. Quickly doubled.
It's a double dribble. Took the officials a couple seconds or a second to realize, yeah, he dribbled it once and yeah, he dribbled it again.
The NBA might have gotten away with it.
They definitely would have gotten away with it. They doubled him and he panicked.
63-42 the score. Fresno State still shooting 59% today. They've only lost 7 games in the last 47 when they do that. Lob inside, Colomario. Looked like he got hit in the face, but no whistle.
They ran that same play in the last round of this tournament. I remember watching it. And Colomario dunked it with authority. And that time, I think it was Willikai that got the block. And I don't know if the ball hit him in the face. No, it was Garrett Green. Willikai got bumped, or it was Williams got bumped out of the way, and Garrett Green got the block. Chance get the ball back.
A questionable no call on that one. Coastal Carolina will get the basketball.
That's Bree Maher, the athletic trainer, checking him out. Just to be sure, as she should, and as anybody should.
A brief stoppage. Appears everything has been sorted out. We're back to basketball. Coastal Carolina shooting 41% from the floor of their own today, but the story has been Fresno State and their hot shooting. They've led from the entirety 13-1 in the beginning, and they just have not looked back today, Nate.
They're really good offensively. They're pretty darn good. I almost said something else. Pretty darn good defensively as well, as you saw right there. They just get into passing lanes. The reason they allow 59 points a game is not because the teams they play are any good. It's because they're really good defensively. They're sound. See him slapping the ball right there. That was Whitaker. They're sound. They don't get beat on the dribble. And they're just always in position. And that's what Coach Hudson's all about.
3 fouls on Whitaker. Here's J. No. Green, yes. Over Hill.
Good job. He had position on Hill, and he wouldn't let Hill knock him out of the way. And the glue guy gets a bucket and an and one opportunity.
Just Green's first and second points of the evening.
Watch the left side of your picture. He pins Hill underneath. Didn't really have to jump because there was nobody else around. Then Hill bumped him as they went back up. I would think he makes this. We see a little full court action defensively.
The lead under 20 for the first time in a while. Coastal Carolina trails by 19 at this venture point. Green at the line. Just a 56% shooter on the season. He'll connect.
Makes it, they can press. Rudy Williams is guarding Orlando Robinson. It's a box and one.
I don't mind that.
He's just going to get in front of him all the way, and the other 4 guys are in the box. That's what you can't give up uncontested.
Robinson just jumps over the defense and gets the putback. He's got a double-double now.
That's the disadvantage. You got Rudy Williams trying to block him out.
16 and 10 for Robinson today. Lob into Mia, he's fouled. It'll be on Lakai, his second, and we'll put Braxton Mia at the free throw line. 65-45 the score. That foul will take us to a media stoppage here inside the HTC. Fresno State's hot shooting has continued here in the second half. Nate, they have 3 players in double figures. Coastal Carolina only has 1.
Well, they're still shooting the ball well, and as we said in the first half, when you're down by 18 at halftime, you can't trade buckets. Long way to go in this one, but the box and one I don't think will be done, especially when Fresno State doesn't have both bigs in the game. They do now, so we'll see what the Chants do on defense after Mia attempts his free throw.
Give Cliff Ellis a lot of credit. He's been trying a lot of things tonight, but Fresno State's offense has just simply been better.
Well, you can play all the great defenses if you don't close out quick enough, and the team is very confident as they are. They're going to make buckets, and they've been making them many, many, many times tonight.
Coastal Carolina, they give up just over 64 points a game on the season. They've done that. We still have 12 minutes to go.
This young man's only 50% free throw shooter, so offensive rebound would kill you right here momentum-wise. There you
Mia
go.
Off the rim as Green grabs the rebound. Do you consider just following Mia every time down?
Maybe later, not yet. That's not the way Coach Ellis plays basketball. If he's got an attempted shot, I would.
Robinson picks up the steal. Campbell lob to Colimero, and Mia grabbed it while it was still on the rim.
He thought it was coming off a little more than it was, and once he got up there was nothing he could do about it.
I got to admit, it must just be nice to be able to play basketball above the rim like that.
6'10" brings it up. A guard shoots it, and the 7'1" guy tries to put it back in. That's a pretty good basketball team. A lot of teams have that, but they pay them a lot of money to play that in the pros. Right to the rim. There you go.
Drives on Colimero and picks up the basket.
Now Udaj finding a little offense there. When the postman, boxing one again. When the postman's not in there, take it to the rim.
They feed it into Robinson. The double team came. Williams on the run out. Steps around Campbell, but swatted away.
Well, no, when you're playing a boxing one, anytime it goes in the post, it's an automatic double because the guy guarding him obviously is there, and one of the 4 other men are there, and that's how they slapped it away. Rudy Williams right here gets it knocked out of bounds. Chanticleer ball.
We said it earlier, but if Coastal wants to get back in this game, it's going to have to start on defense.
Always. Any game does. Wide
Here's
open.
Williams. They could use a basket. Instead, it goes to Robinson. He's got 12 rebounds today. Mia up top, slams it home.
Nice look away by Donovan Yap to Mia for the easy one.
Straightaway 3. Coastal needed that one, just their 5th 3 of the evening.
That's a good move. Now, the next time he gets it there, if Mia's on him, you fake it, let Mia come flying at you, and you go in and dunk it.
Lakai with the 3, up to 7 points. The lead now just 17, the closest it's been in a long time.
Still in the boxing one.
Touched back out, Colimero. High off the iron. Lakai grabs the rebound.
Got to get every miss. You can't have any offensive rebounds.
Deba in transition, the finger roll.
Rudy Williams missed. The last one missed, and that one missed. That's 6 points. All good shots. Bank. They spent a lot of money for that big piece of glass. Use it. Make it easier for the ball to go in the basket. Same D.
That's what that box behind it's for, a little target to hit.
Yep. Same defense, boxing one.
Yap closely guarded, under 10 on the shot clock. They give it to Robinson. Colimero bullies his way to the basket and finishes through the contact. Every time Coastal Carolina has made a run, Fresno State has had an answer.
Nice drive by Colimero, and then the finish and one for the gentleman from São Paulo, Brazil.
As you mentioned, growing up in Brazil, came over to the United States to play his high school ball. Landed a Division I basketball scholarship at Fresno State, did Colimero. Lakai nearly lost it. Udaj now with the basketball. Kickball on Mia.
Very unusual game. Ibrahima Deba averaging almost 6 assists a game, has 1. That's very unlike Deba. And I don't think that's the defense. It's just one of those games.
Potentially of note, Hill and Whitaker, the 2 guards for Fresno State, each with 4 fouls.
Oh, they forgot to guard Garrett Green. They didn't forget to block it, though.
Missed it, got it back. Williams shoved out of bounds. It'll be a foul on Robinson. That'll be 2 on the big man.
Jordan Campbell with a nice recovery. Garrett Green was wide open. He got lost on defense. Nobody near him, and he comes out of nowhere. 6'4" Jordan Campbell, the lefty, blocks it.
Somehow Williams came up with that basketball amongst the trees.
And smartly didn't try to shoot it because there's no way you get a shot off.
That probably would have ended badly if he did.
Yep, but he's going to the line for are we in the bonus yet? No, we are not.
17 points for Williams. Hill with 4 fouls checks back in for Fresno State. Williams had to will that first one in.
And everybody's ready to play offense. It's a 1-on-1, guys. That's why you get a second one. There we go.
Williams having just an outstanding the basketball classic. He had 17 points, including the game winner on Monday night, 18 more tonight, make it 19 for the senior out of Ontario, Canada.
See if Coastal changes D. Nope, same thing. Doesn't look like a boxing one, but it's going to turn into it. Rudy Williams is guarding Robinson by himself and just fronting him everywhere.
Williams playing in his final collegiate game, doing everything he can for Coastal Carolina. A turnover. UJ in transition. Back within 14 are the Chanticleers, and that got the fans on their feet.
Good move. They got the slap away inside. And in 2022, you don't shoot layups in a fast break. You pull up from behind the line. And Josh UJ did exactly that. Timeout. Chants on a little bit of a...
A 5-0 run for Coastal Carolina, and Nate, it's been the defense. They've turned up the pressure.
Well, it always is. They got the free throws last time, and then the boxing one again, and everybody collapses around Robinson. He throws it away a little bit, slapped around, and UJ with the 20-22 fast break, bingo, a 3, and Coach Ellis called timeout. Give his team a blow. He knows in 42 more seconds or around about there, which is going to be another timeout. So get him feeling good about themselves because they just played really good defense and scored 5 in a row.
Coastal Carolina, they've outscored Fresno State 26-22, but they trailed by 18 at the half. They need more here late in this game. 8:38 to go. It's a 14-point deficit for Coastal Carolina.
Same thing, 1-on-1. Rudy Williams has Robinson. Got to pressure the basketball and see if he can get another turnover.
Yep, nearly did turn it over. Coastal Carolina, they haven't given up as many wide open threes. Now here's Campbell. Can't cash in.
They doubled inside and then got back out to Campbell, the shooter. That was good defense.
And on the other end, Cole loses it.
Just can't turn it over like that.
Coley Mario nearly had a backcourt violation.
Yeah, I don't think he had both feet and the ball in the front court.
I would agree.
You need that. He was just 1 foot in the back, 1 foot in the front court.
We're going to get a foul called away from the ball, and that'll take us to our next media stoppage. 69-55 the score. Fresno State trying to hang on, but Coastal Carolina giving them all they can handle. A 14-point advantage for the Fresno State Bulldogs, now just 7 minutes and 48 seconds away from a championship, but Coastal trying to make a game of it. They've been playing some good basketball lately, Nate.
They've been playing well defensively, and they've been scoring at the other end, but I'm sure during a couple of those huddles, Coach Hudson said, look, guys, we just came almost 3,000 miles. Don't let this one get away. Just keep doing what we're doing. They're going to start eating time on that 30-second clock every possession. Not because they want to stall, that's the way they play, and just don't turn the ball over.
You always wonder how that mindset works. Most of the game it's playing to win the game. Now it's playing not to lose the game.
Sometimes it is. Same day, they're sticking with it.
Boxing one, they've had a lot of success. They double Robinson. Robinson dishes to Campbell.
You got to trust your teammates. They doubled Robinson, and everybody stared at Robinson. Nobody looked at Campbell, and he got a 2-footer. Head on a swivel. The other 4 guys are on a zone defense. You can't stare at the ball.
Coastal needs to string positive offensive possessions together. Cole loses the basketball. Possession arrow with the Chanticleers.
Vince Cole goes in there, and you saw it on tape. I know the coaches showed it to him. When one guy gets beat, the other 4 guys are really good for this team. You got to be aware of that. You got to go in to the rim or don't go in there.
Fresno State, if they can hang on, it would be their 23rd victory of the season. You don't get to numbers like that without being a good basketball team.
They're really good defensively.
4th best defensive team in the country in terms of points per game allowed. Williams, he's doing everything he can.
Good job by Deba to get into the middle there and instantly find Rudy Williams inside for a awkward but effective 2-pointer.
21 points for Williams.
It's a smart move. They're using Robinson as a screener up top since he's being double teamed essentially because of the box and one.
Robinson at the free throw line.
Now it's a triangle on 2. They're playing Hill and Robinson man to man.
Robinson misses it off the backboard. Colomario, the follow-up. And a foul will go on Coastal Carolina. Robinson drawing another foul.
Sean switched it up that time. They're playing Hill man-to-man, and they're playing Robinson man-to-man with Rudy on Robinson and Udije on Hill, who's taking it out of bounds.
3 fouls on Ibrahima Deba.
Triangle on 2, I love it. Switch it up.
Entered into Robinson, he finds a cutting Campbell.
The defense keeps staring at the basketball, and cutters are killing them.
Lead is 16. Time running out for the Chants.
There you go. Take it to the rim, Mr. Lakai.
Lakai will head to the line. Coastal Carolina, their free throw shooting has been strong in this performance, 9 of 11 from the charity stripe.
Will Lakai got his head and shoulders past Robinson, and then he wins. Is it going to be an and 1 or 2? Didn't make the shot, so he's going to get a couple.
Fresno State just 3 of 9 from the charity stripe this evening. They had made a few more. This game might be over already.
I'm laughing because Rudy Williams is standing under the other basket, knowing that's where Orlando Robinson's going to go, and that's the guy I'm guarding, so I'll just wait for him here.
1 of 2, offensive rebound, Green.
There's the glue guy, Garrett Green, great play.
The lead just 13, 6 minutes to go. Can Coastal come all the way back? They need a defensive stop here. Green on Robinson. Here's Campbell. A good defensive possession for the Chants.
Push it, you got Robinson beat. He's not under the basket yet.
Deba pulls it out. Williams, nice crossover. Finds Green, who drives. Deep in the shot clock are the Chants. And Deba's fouled.
I thought Rudy Williams got bumped pretty good going inside. They didn't call that. But they haven't called a lot of fouls. At least they're being consistent. And then they had to call that one because Deba got knocked to the ground.
2 on Campbell, 9 on Fresno State as Deba at the line, shooting the 1 and 1.
You can see the bump there by Robinson. No call, and then there's Deba. If the Chanticleers can get this to single digits, pressure goes on Fresno State, I believe. And the crowd will be going nuts at that point. But a lot of time between here and single digits.
Deba tied for the best free throw percentage on the team. He shoots over 80%. He's got the first. Coastal within 12.
We'll see what the Chants do. He's got to make it to press. If he misses it, they're going to probably stick back to that combo defense. If he makes it, you never know.
11. The Chanticleers trying to claw their way back into this game against Fresno State.
Udije on Hill, Garrett Green on Robinson, the other 3 in a triangle.
The crowd starting to get into it.
Smart move by Fresno State, spread them out.
They'll cough up the basketball. Coastal Carolina needs a good offensive possession. They go to Williams. Great ball movement. Udije. No good. Follow up. Again misses.
Boy, Garrett Green had the tip. Just couldn't knock it in.
Coastal Carolina nearly got it to single digits. And the fans into it again. Yap wisely pulls it out.
Plenty of time left.
4:34 to go. It's getting loud in the HTC Center. Yap to quiet the crowd. Off the iron, a foul goes against Coastal Carolina. Backbreaker. A choir of boos here in Conway.
Colomario's going to go to the line. Watch the middle of your picture. Watch Deba. No, excuse me, it's underneath. Lakai took Colomario and threw him to the ground. That's a good call.
3 fouls on Lakai.
Yeah, no shots. Shots only have 5 team fouls on him. But 20 seconds on the clock.
11-point game. Campbell passes up the 3.
But remember, Campbell's a lefty. You can't let him go to that strong hand.
Campbell working with his right, got it back to his left. Offensive rebound for Campbell. The putback is good.
Well, Campbell didn't get the initial rebound, but Orlando Robinson kept it alive, and then Campbell did get it.
Campbell, the 4th Fresno State Bulldog, into double figures. Williams drives to the cup and is fouled.
Chanticleer's want to score without the clock running here. They're going to get a timeout to get a little break before Rudy Williams goes to the line.
75-62 here inside the HTC Center. Fresno State, they've led the entire way. We told you, Orlando Robinson, the best big man in the country you had never heard of. He's lived up to the billing today, Nate. 16 points, 14 rebounds, another double-double.
Well, we got 4 minutes to go, and he's played 35 minutes. He's also got 4 assists, along with the 16 and 14. And he's only got 1 turnover, and he's probably had at least 2 people guarding him every time he touches the basketball. He's a special basketball player. I read about him before I watched 3 of their games. He's really good. I mean, really good.
Suffice it to say, we think the guy has a future.
Just a little bit. It was great. At the end of the last game, their radio crew interviews him on the ESPN Plus telecast. And they were talking about what a good game, and the play-by-play guy said to him, you got 1 more in you? And he was thinking, this game tonight. And he kind of, and he hesitated. He thought he was asking me, got 1 more year in you. But he was not asking him about that. I'm sure he's asked about that all the time. He's asking him about 1 more game in you. And he's playing today, and we just showed you what he's done today. Great, great game.
Williams, not to be outdone, leads all scorers with 23, but not a single teammate of his in double figures.
Got to get it over half court.
2 seconds to get it across, they do.
Just did it.
Campbell drives on Lakai. No on the runner.
Right to the rim.
Williams gets it back in the corner. Lakai, bullet pass to Deba in the lane. They find Green on the backside, and he'll hit the 3. Big 3-pointer for Green, and it's an 8-point basketball game.
They're going to look at it to make sure it was a 3. They're not 100% sure. Oh, they're going to look at it next dead ball, which is the right thing to do. Can't stop it yet.
Shot for Garrett Green. 8 points. In Coastal Carolina within single digits for the first time since the first half, Nate.
See what this zone press turns into. Still the triangle 2. Just match up to the guys in your area. Robinson and Whitaker being played man-to-man.
Hill with 4 fouls in the game. Robinson, 3 on the shot clock. He'll heave. Short. Good box out there by Lakai and a chance to get within 5. Williams for 3. In and out.
Good look. Really good look. A lot of time left. Really good look.
3.
Problem is, you got to play about 27 seconds of defense now if you're the Shants, because they're not going to put it up till there's single digits on that clock.
It's gotten loud in the HTC Center. The fans trying to will Coastal Carolina back into the game. Robinson, oh my.
Nice little bank. Got to try to draw a charge on him, but he split the double team there. It was pretty special.
Lakai wants another 3. Yes! Timeout, Coastal Carolina. A 7-point game on the backs of some hot shooting by the Shants.
Well, the biggest cheerleader behind the Chanticleer bench is Devontae Jones jumping up. But you caught them in a little scramble deep. Look at Lakai, top of your picture, wide open. Colomario goes over there a little too late, and a good move by Coach Ellis to call the timeout, to give him a little blow. The fact they just made a heck of a run, and now he's telling them, guys, all that stuff's good. We got to make another run.
The lead was 24 when it was 63-39. That's the largest it was been. Since then, Coastal Carolina has outscored Fresno State 31-14. That's the type of run that they needed.
It's exactly what they needed. Will Akai right there. He's the guy that just made the three. They came close to a 10-second call, didn't get it 2 possessions ago, but they're going to continue with the press and turn it back into the trying on 2.
Cliff Ellis asking the fans to get on their feet. They're responding.
Robinson in there by himself is a big.
They double Campbell. Robinson driving on the Chants defense. He's fouled.
The other team's making a run. You're up 7, and your 7-footer attacks from the corner. That tells you how good this young man is and the confidence that Coach Hudson and company has in him. He saw an opening. Don't try to block it. You're not going to block it. Try to draw a charge. Get out there and let him knock you down. The place would go nuts if they could draw a charge here.
Robinson 3 of 5 from the free throw line. The rest of his teammates 0 for 4. Fresno State leading by 7.
He's played 36 of the 38 minutes of this basketball game.
Nothing but net.
That was special.
19 points for Robinson. He's taken the team lead for Fresno State as Hill checks out for Yap.
Yap has run the point this year, and I'm sure he will with Isaiah Hill getting a little breather.
Perhaps some defense for offense with Hill with 4 fouls. Robinson, 2 of 2 from the line. He's got 20.
Chanticleers have a timeout left. I don't know if they'll use it. They want to draw a charge here or a foul and get to the line.
Lakai goes right at Robinson, draws the foul.
That's perfect. You go to the line, the clock's not running, get score points, you don't have to call your timeout.
Nate, it's incredible the performance of Orlando Robinson tonight, his 19th 20-point game of the season.
That's what he does.
Fresno State, 3 players, Robinson, Whitaker, and Hill, each with 4 fouls. Lakai hits the first.
Once again, you make this, you can press. You don't make it, you got to get back and play tough defense. The press might cause a little panic. That's what you hope that it'll do if you're Coach Ellis.
This free throw to make it a 7-point game.
Coach Ellis just said we're going to foul 23. That's Colimero, 74% free throw shooter. But they're not going to do it until he gets in the front court. They want a turnover.
Hill doubled in the backcourt. Evades Campbell, got 2 seconds to get it across. They do. Whitaker, they pull it out. Deba shoves Colomario, and he'll head to the line.
That's who they wanted to foul. As an assistant coach, many times my job was to find out who is the percentage-wise or game for that game the worst free throw shooter. And you make the suggestion, then the boss has to make the decision.
They normally take your suggestions.
Oh, they'll take them. Coach Kremers didn't always use them, but they took them.
Colomario. Big free throw, and it's Fresno State hitting free throws at the end of this game, making it difficult for Coastal to get all the way back.
Yeah, the problem is it's 72% as a team free throw shooting, so they're good.
He'll hit them both.
And now I think you got to score and call a timeout unless you get fouled.
Colomario, the 5th Bulldog in double figures. Coastal Carolina with just 2.
An and 1 would be the perfect play here.
Utah J. It clings out. And that might be it. More pressure in the backcourt. A foul goes on Coastal Carolina, and Yap will make the long walk, and Fresno State might have just clinched a championship.
Well, Colomario is a 74% free throw shooter. Yap's a 70% free throw shooter. We talked about Robinson, 72. They just don't have bad free throw shooters down the stretch. It's a great asset to have for a basketball team. Jordan Campbell, I'm looking 77%. You don't want to go near him.
Yap connects on the first.
And it's really surprising to me, but really good. This team came almost 3,000 miles. There's 15, 20 fans behind him as well. Fresno State Bulldog fans in Coastal Carolina.
Fresno State up by 11, just a minute and 10 seconds between them and a basketball classic championship. Lakai, short, Williams battling. Foul goes on Fresno State. It'll be on the floor, but Coastal Carolina will be shooting.
He tried to make it in the act of shooting, but his back was to the basket when he got the ball. But Fresno State way over the 10, so it's a double bonus.
Fresno State has won the final game of the season just once. Came all the way back in 1983. They were NIT champions. NIT, one of the longest running postseason tournaments. Just wrapping up, Xavier picked up the big win last night in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, great win right at the end for Xavier and interim coach
Rudy Williams has played outstanding today. He misses both free throws, but Williams, a strong performance.
Jonas Hayes, excuse me, his name went out of my brain there for a minute. Jarvis and Jonas Hayes, two great players, University of Georgia. Jarvis, an assistant in the Sun Belt at Georgia State, and Jonas, the interim coach at Xavier, who just won the NIT, and it will not be back at the Garden, so that's a pretty significant win.
I believe that's the first time since the 50s that won't be at Madison Square Garden next year.
Yeah, either Vegas or I think Indianapolis are the two choices.
83-72, the officials have gone to the monitor. They're going to check who was off.
Freebie timeout for each team. Chanticleers are loving the rest or the break, get some fluids in them. They almost can't let the ball go over half court now. You got to go for a steal. If you don't get it, you foul. But when you go for the steal, slap the hand. If they don't call the foul, you get the steal. If they do, you got to stop the clock anyway.
Coastal Carolina, an outstanding run here at the end of the season. They've won 6 out of their last 7. They did have that big mistake in the first round of the Sun Belt Conference tournament where they lost, but they bounced back, winning 3 games in this basketball classic, and you have to like how this team has bounced back.
Absolutely, yeah. Georgia Southern got them down in Pensacola in the first round of the tournament. And let's give some kudos to the Sun Belt Conference. Coach Rob Lanier, the Georgia State tournament champion, just got the SMU job. So that's a nice little, I'm sure his wife is happy with that. I remember talking to him this season, and he said people told him he sometimes sounds like Denzel Washington. He goes, yeah, he said, my wife really appreciates it. So Mrs. Lanier is going to get a nice little bump from Mr. Lanier's paycheck going to SMU, I am sure. Tough league in the American Conference, but SMU's got a lot of tradition.
Absolutely. 83-72 the score. Fresno State set to claim just their second postseason title in school history. Coley Mario skies for the rebound. They get it across half court. And Coastal Carolina will foul perhaps one final time. It's on Deba. That'll be 5 on Deba, the redshirt junior out of Sweden. Does have an additional year of eligibility, yep, but we haven't been told if he's going to use it or not.
Nobody knows. You know, let's give a little credit to Fresno State and the Mountain West Conference. They got 6 teams in postseason play, 4 in the NCAA, Boise State, Colorado State, Wyoming, San Diego State, Utah State in the NIT, whose athletic director is a former player of ours at the Citadel, John Hartwell, and then, of course, Fresno State right here in the Basketball Classic.
Jordan Campbell missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
It's a good league, Mountain West.
Lakai tried to go over Robinson. You're probably not winning that battle.
Yeah, but I like the aggressiveness. Take it to the rim. Trying to get a foul. Robinson blocked it. With 4 fouls, he blocked it. Chanticleers will keep the ball.
13 points for Lakai, just 2 off his career high. Good performance for Lakai today. Here's Lakai. Can't hit the 3. A foul goes on Williams. And Fresno State sensing a championship.
And they ought to sense it because they're up 11 with 23 seconds to go.
Fresno State just a couple of free throws, perhaps an inbound away from their second championship in school history.
Everybody plays for a trophy. There just aren't that many to give out.
Colomario makes the first free throw.
Boy,
Colomario hits them both.
They've been good from three. They've been really good from the free throw line late as well. All the things that you need to do to be a quality basketball team, and they really play good defense.
They started 3 of 9 from the line, 8 for their last 9 down the stretch. Udije blocked. Williams retrieves in the backcourt. 12 seconds to go. Williams will heave. No, offensive rebound for Lakai, another one. And he's ties his career high with 15, but it's going to come in a losing effort.
Yep, Coach Ellis told him no more. A valiant effort in the second half by the Chanticleers, but the team in the red shirts played 2 great halves.
Fresno
They're coming away with a win
State
and
is
a champion.
Basketball Classic champions here in 2022. The Bulldogs finished the season 23-13, and they win the final game of the season. Fresno State, the second championship in school history, as they take down Coastal Carolina, who's lost in the final game of the year in 3 of the last 4 seasons, Nate.
Yeah, Orlando Robinson, 20 points to lead his team. Rudy Williams had 23 for the shots, but 20 points, 14 rebounds, played a lot of minutes with 4 fouls and played 39 of 40 minutes. Kind of did it all for his basketball team.
We expected Orlando Robinson to be good. He was even better than good tonight. Another 20-point performance. What impressed you the most about his play?
He can do everything. He only made 1 3, but I've seen him on tape make a lot more than that. He can hit the mid-range shot, and when he posts up at 7 foot, he's got great footwork. He banks the ball. He's very efficient inside. 20 points, 7 of 16 from the field. That's a little under 50%, but it's still very, very good. He was double-teamed every time he touched the ball, and he only turned it over once the whole game.
Fresno State victorious here today. We're going to step away, but stay right here. The presentation of the trophies, the all-tournament team. Fresno State, your 2022, the Basketball Classic champions. A big victory for Fresno State here in Conway, South Carolina. Fresno State, your 2022, the Basketball Classic champions. A special thank you to our sponsor, Eracism, for their generous support of the 2022 Basketball Classic Championship. Fresno State, your champion. So for our producer, Alex Souza, and the rest of our crew, I'm Noah Frary saying so long from Conway, South Carolina, where once again our final score, Fresno State 85, Coastal Carolina 74. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app.